What's up? Welcome into your Daily Buckeye Blitz for a Wednesday, the humping day, as they call it, or just hump day, right? Because it's in the middle. Or is it really called humping day? I don't know. Anyway, who cares? Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023, a little 23-23 action. Hope you guys are having a great week. We're trying to bring you a ton of awesome Buckeye content. We're almost done with our player focuses on the freshmen and transfers. We got to talk about Lorenzo Styles tomorrow, probably. And today we are focusing on our fall camp positions. And today is D-line. We've done the linebackers. What else do we do? Running backs. So we're going to try and hit all the main position groups, get you updated, mostly from their interviews, what the coaches have said, things like that. So again, don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all those good things. When you at least like the video, it helps other ladies and gentlemen find our content. So just hitting the like button really helps us out a ton. So thank you. I appreciate it. I assume you did it. So anyways, let's talk D-line now. All right. So as much as it may hurt, I'm going to go back to last year and recap the snap counts. I'm going to give you my two deep, what I look as we go through these snap counts, what I'm looking at as my two deep. So, and I'm assuming Tyleek is going to be okay as of right now. I haven't heard anything different as far as if something has changed, apologies. Anyway, my starters across the front row. Jack Sawyer, he had 330 snaps last year. That doesn't sound like very many to me, not for a DN. Anyway, Ty Hamilton, I got him as my starter at that would be the one tech. I think so. I forget. Shit. Anyway, Ty Hamilton had 300 snaps last year, led the way for the D tackles, except for Teron Vincent, but he led the way for the returning D tackles. Mike Hall, I got him starting at the other D tackle position. He had 266 last year. Remember, battled some injuries, missed a lot of time. Then I got JT at the other DN. Not a huge surprise there. He had 504 snaps last year. That's why I think Jack should have had more than 330. But again, the Jack position kind of screwed him. So here we are. Now, my two deep, my backups for these guys, I got Kenyatta. He had 24 snaps last year as a freshman. I got Tyleek with 253. I got him backing up Ty Hamilton. Then I got Tywan Malone backing up Mike Hall. He had 78 snaps last year at Ole Miss. And then Caden Curry, I got backing up JT at the other DN spot. You can kind of mix the two DNs. Kenyatta can go over behind JT and Curry can run behind Jack. So flip-flop those any way you like. Now, it's been a long time since we've had a Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, or Chase Young. That was 2014 to 2019 was a nice little run there for Coach Johnson. But his position room was one of the best. He's cranked out so much NFL talent. You have to call him the best of all time, really, at D-line coaching. But there's been a dip in production from that entire unit the last couple of years. And now it's up to Coach Johnson to fix it, right? He could be retiring after this year. Who knows? But I think it's his job and it's his task to fix this D line if something is broken. Larry Johnson said after practice last week that, quote, when you're running in a pack, it's more of a unit, right? That's the most important thing rather than to single one guy out. I think the biggest thing we've challenged our guys is really let's be part of a pack. Let's be part of a unit that does everything special. He continued on. I think that's the key. And we're trying not to say that guys do this skill or they've got this job. Let's put all those skills together and go play as a unit, try to become the best unit in college football. And you could see this message has kind of permeated the entire D-line room. They repeated it over and over in interviews. So The big question is, Larry Johnson, is he still planning on deploying a rotation on the D-line? Because Ryan Day has made it clear several times that Ohio State would like its top talent on the field more often this year. So what's that mean? Tighter rotation, right? Fewer guys rotating in. Maybe there should be a different approach depending on the situation, not a complete overhaul of the reps, but Larry Johnson, again, pushed back on the idea of changing the rotation. He's somewhat stubborn and doesn't really take to outside ideas very well. So that's a challenge. I mean, he is 71. I imagine when I'm 71, in many, many, many years from now, maybe not as many as I think, I'm probably going to be kind of stubborn and unwilling to listen to outsiders either. But so right now it's unclear how the substitutions and rotation is going to be managed. There's definitely a disagreement in the staff. Johnson said, quote, the offenses are different now, so there's a whole different game set right now in how we play. We want to rotate. We want to stay fresh. Yeah, maybe they'll play more plays this year, but that's going to be determined once we start the season. He continued, it's way too early to say this guy's going to do this or that, but as we get closer to the game, I'll have a good idea. That's what I'm evaluating right now. Johnson also said that we want 4 guys, a unit playing together as hard as we can to stop the run, and then we have an opportunity to rush the passer. He says the defense has to make the offense one-dimensional by stopping the run to be more effective rushing the passer. So this sounds like a directive coming from above him and is pointed right at that Michigan game. You know, stop the run. While you're stopping the run, rush the passer. Don't know how you do that mentally, but hey, good luck. So let's talk about Tyleek. Let's touch on each of the players here that matter. Tyleek's trying to get back to full speed after tweaking his knee in camp. He missed some time early on the first day of camp, actually, in fall camp. He's easing his way back in with reps and continuing to wear a brace. At this point, he expects to be ready for the road trip to Indiana. He said, quote, I mean, it's better than getting the injury at the end of camp, so get it out of the way now. It's better than having it happen at the end and then sitting out some games or something like that. I'm feeling good. I'm back running, back practicing. I've been working every day, slowly getting back like on the field full time. On his conditioning, Williams said it's definitely gotten better since his freshman year. And he's trying to build off the progress from previous seasons and thinks he'll be in a good spot. He's in a good spot right now. So that's good to hear. You remember as a freshman, one of his first interviews, he said that COVID got him. And so he came in way heavier than he should have. Didn't work out much during COVID shutdown. But all right, let's talk Mitchell Melton. He's looking to take that jack role for the Buckeyes. Larry Johnson said Mitchell Melton's currently playing primarily as a defensive end, but if the jack becomes part of what he does, I think I can handle it very well, Larry Johnson said. Some ringing endorsement for the jack position, Coach Johnson. Melton had the season-ending leg injury over a year and a half ago in the spring game. Question is, how much will the Buckeyes use the jack position? That has not been discussed or determined yet. A healthy Mitchell Melton is going to be a key part of the plans, though, for the defense. And he's ramped up his work in training camp. He's full go. And he had this to say, quote, grateful probably is the right word now, but I feel great being out there again. I would say this is the best I've felt since I've been here, really. I mean, you come into this place, you have expectations with everything, but I think when defensive coordinator Jim Knowles came in with that position, I kind of saw myself there. But I know all of these things happen for a reason. So I just kept working and biding my time and doing the best I possibly could. So good to hear Mitchell's in a good place. Mitchell Melton. Let's talk JT. Larry Johnson said JT's first step is faster this year than it was last year. That's good to hear. He also said that JT and the other starting D linemen could play a higher percentage of plays this year, but he thinks it's important to rotate players to keep them fresh. We mentioned that. Quote, you can't get into a game and play a guy 90 plays and play a 15-game schedule. You can't do that. He'll burn out at the end. He'll look good at the beginning and then burn out. Understandable to a degree. Let's talk Mike Hall. Mike Hall has not met with the media for some reason. Usually they just keep the freshmen away from the media their first year, but whatever. Larry Johnson said Mike Hall currently weighs 275. He said Buckeyes would like to get him to 280, 285, but Hall is, quote, in the best shape he's ever been in. That's good to hear. And JT Tuamoloau said that defensive tackle Mike Hall Jr. can bring a lot of things to the defense. When fully healthy, he's a, quote, he's a mud dog of a silver bullet. He added that Hall is the heart of the defensive line. What is the definition of a mud dog of a silver bullet? Need that. Ty Hamilton, Larry Johnson just mentioned that Ty Hamilton is a great leader. He's very vocal, and the guys listen to him. On Tywone Malone, quote, I think he's going to have a great impact. He says all of the top defensive tackles on the roster complement each other well because they bring something different to the table. And he came in with a great attitude, ready to learn. So that's great. That's why I have him in my 2D. I think he's legit. Caden Curry up next. Larry Johnson said Caden Curry is up over 260 pounds now, much stronger. And what you expect from Caden Curry, what you saw in high school, you're starting to see it now. So that's good to hear out of a second-year guy. Johnson said he hopes Amari Abor will be able to return this season. I heard somewhere, I don't remember where it was, that this was an ACL injury. So I don't know. Ryan Day did not say that, I don't think. And last, let's talk about Jack Sawyer. Jack Sawyer said that in an effort to make physical changes necessary to go back to defensive end, he dropped 6 to 7% of his body fat. He said getting more in shape, quote, getting more in shape, getting my explosiveness back a little more and having a little more twitchy again. So that was my main focus this offseason. So that's good to hear. A twitchy Jack Sawyer is much needed for this defensive end group. So that's all I got for you today. We'll be touching on the rest of the position groups over the next few days. So keep it locked in here. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.